Deep in the rugged wilderness of Alaska, the morning mist clung low to the forest floor, wrapping the towering pines in silence. The land was raw, untouched, home to one of nature's most misunderstood giants, the grizzly bear. For centuries, humans have seen bears as symbols of raw power and danger. Stories of attacks, close calls, and fear have cemented the grizzly's reputation in our collective memory. Hikers are told to keep their distance. Hunters speak of their strength with respect and fear, but not every story fits the mold. This is one of them. Meet Daniel, a seasoned hiker with years of experience trekking solo through backcountry trails. On a crisp autumn morning, he set out on a familiar path winding through steep ridges and shaded valleys. With his gear packed and GPS tracking in hand, he expected solitude, peace, maybe a few photos of birds or mountain views. He didn't expect a life-altering encounter. Several miles in, the trail grew narrower. Trees thickened. Fog began rolling in, dimming visibility. Daniel slowed his pace, scanning the path ahead. That's when he saw it, a grizzly bear, massive, still, watching him from just beyond the tree line. His heart stopped. Every instinct screamed run, but he didn't. He froze, knowing sudden movement could provoke disaster. He had heard the warnings, but nothing prepares you for staring into the golden brown eyes of a wild grizzly just 30 feet away. What happened next defied everything he thought he knew. Daniel stood rooted in place. The bear didn't charge. It didn't growl. It simply watched. His breath came in shallow gasps. His muscles ached to move, to run. But he stayed still, just like the survival guides said. His eyes flicked toward the trail ahead. If he could inch backward without triggering the bear's aggression, he might get out of this alive. But then something changed. The bear stepped forward, one slow, deliberate movement. Daniel felt his pulse thunder. He tightened his grip on the trekking pole in his hand. Another step. The bear was now closer, still not aggressive, but no longer still. Suddenly, the bear huffed loudly and moved to Daniel's left. Blocking the trail, what was it doing? Then, the grizzly looked back at him. For a second, their eyes met again. And in that glance, there was no rage, no threat. There was warning. The bear's body angled sharply toward the edge of the trail, toward what looked like a normal continuation of the path. But as Daniel stepped forward slightly, trying to keep distance, the bear reared up briefly, just a moment, and growled. Daniel stumbled back. That's when he saw it. Just past where he was about to step, hidden by leaves and a curtain of mist, was a sheer drop. A washed-out cliffside, eroded by recent rains, now a trap waiting to take any unaware hiker straight down a ravine. Had he taken one more step forward, he wouldn't be standing. The bear had stopped him. Shaken, Daniel backed away slowly, still watching the grizzly. But the bear didn't follow. Instead, it turned, walking calmly back into the trees from where it came. No aggression, no growl, no pursuit. It had done what it came to do. For several minutes, Daniel stood motionless, processing, breathing, trying to make sense of what had just happened. This wasn't the predator-prey dynamic he had been warned about. This wasn't a near miss or a lucky break. This was something else entirely. When he finally made his way down a safer side trail, heart still pounding, he looked back into the forest. The bear was gone, its massive form swallowed again by pine shadows and morning fog. Later, reviewing his GPS track and terrain maps, Daniel confirmed what he already knew. The trail he had taken was compromised. Recent landslides had left a fatal cliff hidden under brush and mist. Had the bear not intervened, there's no doubt, Daniel would have stepped right into it. Nature, he realized, had not tried to destroy him. It had saved him. Back home, Daniel struggled to explain what had happened. Friends and fellow hikers listened in disbelief. Some said he imagined it. Others called it a lucky scare. But those who knew him, the seriousness in his voice, the details too precise, understood. Something had changed in him. Daniel began reading about grizzlies, their behaviors, their misunderstood instincts. He learned that while grizzlies can be fiercely territorial, they are also deeply intelligent. Some biologists believe that mother bears in particular exhibit protective behavior, not just toward their cubs, but sometimes even toward vulnerable creatures near them. Had this bear mistaken him for a threat to its territory, or had it sensed danger and decided to act? The answers weren't clear, but what was certain was this. Daniel no longer saw bears the same way. Where once he saw only threat, he now saw wisdom, instinct, even perhaps a form of compassion, and that changed everything. Today, Daniel is an advocate for wildlife conservation. He speaks at community centers and shares his story on hiking forums and nature podcasts. Not to romanticize wild animals, but to remind people of one vital truth. Wild doesn't mean evil. Predator doesn't mean heartless. And fear should never blind us to understanding. Grizzly bears, like many majestic animals, face constant threats: habitat destruction, illegal hunting, climate change. As human development pushes further into wilderness zones, these creatures lose not just land, but their role in the natural balance. Daniel urges people to support organizations working to protect bear habitats, to respect the boundaries of wild spaces, and to rethink how we view the animals we fear most. Because sometimes the ones we fear are the ones who protect us. And sometimes in the heart of a wild ancient forest, a grizzly bear can become a guardian. Not all heroes wear capes. Some walk on four legs, some growl instead of speak. But their actions speak louder than words ever could.